Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another film review. This time it's for Morbius, the living the film's just called Morbius, but we all know him as the living vampire. So Morbius is officially out. We've watched it, we've done it. I have actually had the coolest of cool weekends, alright, visuals. So Wednesday, Moon Knight comes out. Thursday, we got Morbius. Friday, we got Sonic. Saturday, WrestleMania. Sunday, Newcastle play Tottenham away. And WrestleMania Part 2. Monday, just season finale. No, Sunday as well. The season finale is Peaky Blinders. And then Monday, the mid-season of The Walking Dead. Mid-season finale. What an awesome couple of days. The long and anticipated wait for Morbius has finally been, it's like 2 years or whatever, is finally here. What do we think? This is a spoiler-free review visuals, so if you have seen the film, let you know the spoiler-free comments, because come back on Sunday where we're going to do a spoiler-heavy review for Morbius and Sonic in the same podcast, and then the week after it'll be the Moon Knight, and then but anyway, we'll get to that when we get to it. So Sunday, you'll have a spoiler-heavy review. Today's spoiler-free. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, I think we should just jump straight into it. If you do like, well, no, but first we'll do the housekeeping. If you do like this review, please wabooski, and just let me know, out of 10, how do you like my hair right now? Do I look like an e-boy? Because I feel like one. Morbius is out, and what do we think? My initial thoughts, meh. Oh, God, I'm slightly disappointed. Now, I've told you the podcast will be up on Sunday. My views may change because I watch it on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We'll record them on Sunday. And, well, we'll record. My views may change. This is a hard one. This is a hard one to get my head around because I really wanted to love this film. Now, this film come with a lot of question marks straight away because initially when they announced it, I thought, cool, but is a Morbius film going to work? Especially a Morbius solo film. I always thought it might be quite hard to have Morbius in a film, let alone a standalone solo film, and I really don't know. I don't think it works. That's not to discredit Jared Leto, because Jared Leto did Michael Morbius very, very well. His acting, Jared Leto's a great actor. There's no shadow of a doubt there. He is a great actor. But when it comes to comic book acting, there's something about him that just doesn't quite... I mean, I can appreciate what he did with his version of Joker, but there was something there that just doesn't allow me to love it. And with this, he did a good job at Morbius. I think it was everything else around him that just didn't gel. Well, we'll do the good points because there was a couple of good... The transitioning scenes where we see Michael turn officially into vampire mode and go a bit nuts in the action sequences and whatnot. I liked it. The CGI and the graphics was a little bit thingy, but it was fun. It was cool. I'm here for the comic book elements. I'm here for the shenanigans and the supernatural and the, well, that's not really good. I'm here for that. So that was fun. The story was fine. It was easy enough to well, not easy enough, but it was a nice, safe story. We could all follow it without having to worry too much, because I go into these Marvel films now overthinking everything because I'm trying to look at the connections, and we're going to get to where it connects soon. But yeah, it was... Michael's got a blood disease, this sort of shit out, turns vampire-y, away we go, film end. That might have been a bit of a spoiler, fuck. But no, yeah, they didn't do a horrible job at trying to tell this particular story. I just don't necessarily think it was a story we needed or should have had, or maybe not should have had yet, or we should have got this story inside of a Spider or a Venom or whatever they want to bring down the pipeline. But yeah, no, but this was the debut, or the on-screen debut of Morbius, and it was fine. It was just fine. I am truly gutted. I think I'm more gutted for Jared Leto, because obviously this is all subjective and you might think differently. I really wanted him to smash this role so we could forget about the Joker role, leave that in the past, and just take this character, this new character which no one's done before yet, and just annihilate it for however many more films go in the future. Because there's going to be more films, there is. I just think we need to look at it in a different angle. But it might play better when he's got other bigger supporting characters, whether he's mixing it up with Venom and whatnot. We don't know yet. But yeah, it was definitely very flat. Crown, played by Matt Smith, fine. Obviously, we know there's a connection there because we have these flashbacks from the past and whatnot, and obviously there's a deep connection there. And going forward, they still have this connection, but they see things different. It's not eye to eye. It's up against each other and whatnot. And he was all right, but he was a bit shit. just feeling dead flat and a bit, because usually I'm very Mr. Optimistic. Even if I go see a box standard film, I'm like, yeah, but I feel like even now I'd be forcing myself too much to go, yeah, it was amazing, it was great. I think this really did suffer from the earlier prediction that a few of us gave of, should a Morbius standalone film be what they do next? I'm even having question marks about this so-called Kraven the Hunter film they're planning on doing. Listen, I love Morbius and I love Kraven the Hunter. I love them when they're up against people, especially spiders. I don't know how we're supposed to get behind a Morbius and how we're supposed to get behind a Kraven the Hunter. Venom works. Venom worked really well because he's had he's probably had the most, even more than the Green Goblin and whatnot, maybe, drawn out story over comics and whatnot, you know, from terms of the regular Venom, then we see him into Venom Space Knight and all that. He's had a lot to go on. We can get behind that. We can have a symbiote versus symbiote story, but Kraven the Hunter and Morbius, no, I don't think so. I think I've just given the good points away. Jared Leto did a good job, and the story was okay. And it did look okay when they're doing the fight sequences between Vampire and people with the guns, and when he's on like the ship bit and all that. It was all that bit. Them bits were all fine. It did. I will actually point out. I'm going to give this some props here. It did feel like you could tell it was a nice comic book film. Well, not nice. It wasn't like, oh, vampires, lovely blood, nice. It was. Yeah, you could tell it's sent for the page of a comic book, which I always appreciate. When comic book films acknowledge their source material, I dig that. But yeah, so in terms of, you know, the secondary characters and whatnot, all of them were just meh, generic mehs. But Jared Leto did do a good job. So where does it all fit in? Well, visuals, this film's... We know it's connected, but it does a job of making sure it's a standalone, solo, on its own film, in its own little pocket of the... Not so much the MCU, but more the Venomverse, carry on. There are one or two little things where you'll see, without spoiling them, but you should send some of them in the trailer, but you'll see them again. It's primarily on its own. Doesn't really connect anywhere. Doesn't really fit in anywhere as of yet. We still have all the missing leads and the missing connections to, well, it's Sam Raimi Spider-Man on the wall, but we know there's Tom Holland shenanigans, but that's the Oscar builder from The Amazing, from Andrew Garfield. What's going on? But this tried to make sure it was on its own before it connected itself to anything officially properly. That's just on the first viewing and my one and only viewing so far. Obviously, I'll go over again, take a couple more notes and whatnot, have a look at what, because there's going to be a lot of things I've missed. Maybe I'm saying it's not connected, I couldn't see anything, but there might have been glaring stuff that I've just overlooked. So it's very much not, well, it is connected, but it doesn't try too hard, or it doesn't try hard at all to connect itself to Venom or Spider-Man or whatever, until we get to the post-credit scenes. And the post-credit scenes, I did like the post-credit scenes. There's another good point. I personally did. But it left me with some lingering questions. It was, as you go out the film, it's easy to predict who we're going to see because of, again, the trailers and how it all stems up. We know what's going to happen. It did leave a couple of little questions in terms of continuity and how it all goes in, fits in and whatnot. We'll get more into that in the spoiler review podcast. But yeah, even though there were good cutscenes, it was still kind of like, oh, awesome, well, hang on a sec. It was kind of that feeling. We still got them, and there is still a future here. There is still stuff to salvage. We've had an okay base to work on in terms of Morbius as a character and Morbius as a story going forward. Whether he teams up with other villains, whether we try and get this good guy Morbius or whatever. Because obviously Michael Morbius is a good guy. He wants to help. He wants to do good. But he just now has this unquenchly thirst for blood. Obviously being a vampire. Yeah, I think the best thing to go off the film was okay. I didn't leave going, that was the biggest load of shit ever. I'm so disappointed. Why did we get this? I'm done now. I just left and went, yeah. I will tell you this now. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was way better than this. Sonic smashed this. I mean, you can't really compare the two, I guess, because Sonic and Morbius. But if I had to choose a film now to watch again straight away, it'd be Sonic all day long. Yeah, it was okay visuals. But go watch it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm gonna have to give it a borderline 5 out of 10. Sits in the middle. Like I said, I'll have a couple of nights to reflect before I record the review podcast. Hopefully, I have one more showing in there. So a few more different opinions may change. Some other things I may notice. But this is my first viewing, spoiler-free review, and we'll get heavy into the nitty-gritty on Sunday. There we go, visuals. If you did enjoy this review, please, let me know in the comments below. Anything you want to let me know about your thoughts on the film and whatnot. We're trying to be, obviously this channel's not very big anyway. We don't get too many views, so we're not going to spoil stuff for many people. But, you know, like to you, James, you might be watching and saying, I haven't watched the film yet. I don't want to spoil I don't want it spoiled just yet. You'll actually have a couple of good opinions because you come up with some good thoughts and opinions when you put in comments and whatnot. So I'm looking forward to see what you say. And I'm looking forward to what all of you say, if any of you even want to comment and stuff. But visuals, there we go. My spoiler-free review for Morbius. Still go watch, but still go in with an open mind. Because you might enjoy it more than me. But visuals, thanks for watching. You guys are literally the fucking best. We'll always keep being you. And keep on keeping on.